Testing, testing. Hello, Gillian, if you're still there. Yes, yeah, it was just because last year around December, I just kind of got in this mood where it felt like nobody cared if I streamed or not, so I removed all my followers, which was a dumb thing to do. It's been a while since I played this game too. Yeah, it can be a pretty good game.
Lost into
That's some powerful magic. This is one of the longest videos that Final Fantasy has had since I started playing this game. Close to 8 minutes. Okay, it's so, I don't know why it's picking up sound. I'm not talking. I should probably turn my TV down. Okay, I guess that's where I start. But I'll be right back to the restroom. Okay. Ah ha ha, so ye want to hear the tale of how the company of heroes bested the primal, do ye? Let me guess, you mean that bastard Titus, eh? If only you'd been there to see it. 'Twas a mighty struggle like the legends of old. Me and the boys fought him for 3 days and nights we did. The ground trembled with every step Titus took, and when he hit ye boy, it felt like a cannonball to the gut, just like that. oh, what is that like for? I'm a hero, I'll have you know. People around here sing me praises. Don't tell me you're only caring about learning secret tactics we use to beat old Titus. Well, too bad, because I'm not feeling charitable. If you're so darn desperate, then why don't you do me a favor and kill those rats that have made a nest in the windmill by the windmill south of here? And you do that, and then we'll talk. Because that's interesting. My keyboard's lit up for the keys that this game is active with. Oh, I didn't know you could do that. Something a rat's nest over here. Ah, there it is. What, you still asking about how we beat Titus? I don't know, Venture. It was a pretty risky strategy, the only kind of veteran of 10 score battles could rely upon. I want to teach ye, I truly do, but ye prove ye have what it takes to face that fat bastard. I can't in good conscience tell you a damn thing. At the very least, ye need to be capable of slaying, say, a Gabu. Come to think of it, that ain't a bad idea. Them creatures have a taste for the flour milled here, so you ought to have no trouble finding one in the vicinity. Of course, I ain't asking you to cut one down quick as a skilled axeman like myself. Anyway, why don't you try heading due west and stand in lookout in case a Gabu comes calling. Slay it, I might consider telling you more about old Titus. Well, that was easy. Hey, you again. That Gabu was harassing the Millers is dead? Didn't you think you had it in you, but Venture, still you took forever and a day to get the job done. I'm still not sure if I should tell you their secrets. Oh. So, as I was saying, I still don't know if you got what it takes to face Titus. Maybe if you slew a Tractome? Were you in here drinking again? If you are, that Gobu had better be dead. Oh, it's dead, Chief. You have my word on that. Cleave the best beast skull in two with me, trusty axe I did. Is that a fact? And what will your friend have here say if I ask him? He'll vouch for me, of course. Ain't that right, friend? Tell me true, was it Tractome was slew that Godbu, or was it you? Chief, what are you saying? It's me, Tractome. The finest axeman ever to serve the company of heroes. The legendary mercenaries who slew that Titus bastard Titus. Titus? Titus? Who in the seven hells is Titus? Some primal you fought in a drug-sodden dream? The company of heroes slew Titan, you bloody half-wit. Aye, well, see, Titus is what me and the lads used to call him. That's the biggest load of Sahagin I've ever heard. Both of you outside will learn the truth of the Laman Sunlight. Tractome, if you didn't say it, go up, you may consider your contract revoked. Smash his boulder and you, that's cheating. Alright, I admit it. I lied about being in the company of heroes. But I beg you, Chief, please don't dismiss me. I've learned my lesson. Honest, I have. Save your blubber and tactrum. Gods, I should have known. Mercy, please, I didn't want to deceive you, I swear. It's just that I kept getting turned away by all the folk I asked for work, and I panicked. See, the last job I had was at Costa del Sol, and there was this grizzled marauder everyone treated like royalty. When I heard he was captain in a company of heroes, I finally understood why. So, I wasn't being serious when I said I was one of them, but ye and believed me, so I... Look, his name was Whiskiet, alright. Whiskiet, I tell you how to defeat Titus, or he'll tell you how to defeat Titus, whatever his name is. That's what you wanted in it, so come on then. Tell Chief to forgive me, it's only fair. Okay, so where am I supposed to go? Where am I right now? Oh, I see. What was that? H? Apkalu. To get those, I could get the Archer 30. Oh, one more. It's just these two I have to get to now. Pardon, you wish to slay the Lord of Crags? You must slay him, Captain. The people of Lominsa are depending upon us. You fancy yourself heroes then, just like in the tales? Be not so quick to judge. Long have I labored for the well-being of you and yours, and my associate here has bathed in Ifrit's hellfire and lived. He is blessed with a power that protects him from the primal influence. Thus he is able to lay low the Lord of Inferno. Ye know full well the risk, and have taken every possible precaution. We lack only the knowledge of how to enter Titan's lair. Pray be so good as to grant us the boon of your wisdom, and we shall be on our way. A man who can't be tempered, useful, but it will not be enough. It is that the company of heroes fought and felled primals, but each victory was brought with lifeblood of brave and men and women. And Titan was the worst we faced. We defeated him in the end, but it took us from some of our very best. Even if you possess the power to claim, I have no reason to believe you will succeed. Believe what you will, we mean to try. Through our lives we forfeit, we will not abandon Limsa to the wrath of Titan. You are passionate, I grant you that, and you deserve better than the greeting I gave you. But I will not send you into Ogomoro on a whim. To be plain, I do not wish to see you give your lives in vain. At the very least, I must have assurances that you are more than common adventurers. I oversee security for Master Gegaruju's estates. Perhaps you can demonstrate your abilities by attending one of our... Godsman, you have heard nothing I have said. We have not the time to perform trivial tasks. The enemy is at the gates. Do you imagine words can sway me, girl? Do you dislike my conditions? Then you are welcome to find your own way into Ogomoro. Though it pains me to admit it, I fear we have no choice but to acquiesce to the man's demands. Yet much remains to be done if we are to best Titan. Forgive me, but I must ask you to undertake this task alone. I will use this time to see to the remaining preparations. Leaving the dirty work to others, are we? Very well. Pray do whatever the good captain bids, however trifling. Remember, the fate of Limsa Lominsa hangs in the balance. Master Gegaruju's request can be more demanding than you realize. Before I set you to your true task, I would like to verify that this won't be a waste of my time. Nyx has recently been prowling on the beach to the east. As you can imagine, Master does not want large, slimy creatures anywhere near his lands. The beast is cunning, but you should have no difficulty luring it out with herring. Slay the Nyx and return to me. Oh, and don't forget to bring me a leg as proof of the skill. Yeah. Maybe that's not where I should go. You go that way. That's pretty deep water. Well, crap. Okay, what was I... How did this work? I forgot how to change. No, that's not it. How did I do this? Maybe this will help. Huh. So how do I kill him? Oh, use the herring to lure out the Nyx? Why am I trying to kill cancer then?
Lest you think me overly cautious for testing you in this way, you should know that we had an incident not long ago. A foolish young employee was dismissed for lying about his past. He claimed to never have served in the company of heroes, but I knew for a fact he did not. Anyway, now that the pointless boozy work is finished, I shall give you a challenge as befits your talents. Two highly distinguished individuals are scheduled to visit Costa del Sol in the near future, and Master Gejuru wishes to welcome them with an elaborate banquet. But while money is no object, not everything Master Gejeruju desires can be so easily purchased. It is to be an extremely exotic feast, so White Snow, your mission is to seek out and obtain the rare ingredients our chef requires. Naturally, such fine dining must be accomplished with a suitable wine. And by suitable, I mean the very best there is. That can't, however, can wait for the time being, as I believe you have enough on your plate as it is. It will be a long and arduous journey, but you need not toil alone. Many of the mercenaries who once served under my command will still live, and they will guide you in your quest. For the first ingredient, I will have you travel to the South Shroud and speak with Landinel at Camp Tranquil. What? Do you mean to tell me you cannot afford to waste time as your associate did? Adventure, if you have not the endurance to complete this mission, how do you expect me to believe you can outlast the Lord of Crags? Either do it or don't. I have work to do. Oh yeah. I already did that. Where'd he go? Speak with Landry now. Black Shroud? Do you require assistance, Venture? So this is the one who would challenge Titan. I've been expecting you, White Snow. The ingredients you seek is at the egg of a giant adamantoise. The method of acquisition should be obvious. You steal it from the beast's nest. Of course. Simple in theory, but difficult in execution. Most who try die in attempt. Will I help you get it? How you amuse me. I will not jeopardize my position openly by assisting you. From me you will receive only information. What you do with it is your choice. Okay. Let me be clear, this business between you and me and the captain must remain a secret. See, I don't regret my time spent with the company in the slightest. Traveling the world, meeting interesting people, killing them, it was all jolly good fun. Alas, Jordanians are, by and large, unforgiving lot. Detail here being a rare exception. Her reaction. I've had to go to great lengths to ensure that I am seen as a model citizen with no taste for drinking, whoring, gambling, and all those other activities I so dearly miss. So understand that if you ruin my little charade by wagging your tongue, I'll fashion a noose with your entrails and hang you from the nearest heavens pillar. Well, what are you waiting for? This is a perfect good Adamantios egg in the nest east of here, just right for the taking. Not that I expect you to live long enough to claim it. The mother never strays far from the child, and you will surely be attacked the moment you lay hands upon the egg. There will be other heroes, White Snow. You do not need to challenge Titan. Abandon your quest, or your corpse will rot in the swamp. Am I going the wrong way? Yep, I am.
Why do I have to go back over there? Oh, because I never picked up the egg. I thought you might have good sense to leave this place by your continued presence. I take it you intend to persevere to the bitter end. Aha, such bravery, such recklessness. That will serve you well against Titan. Leave the egg with me. I'll see that it gets the captain. You should make haste to southern Thanalan. In Forgotten Springs, you will find a man named Uod Noon. He will be your next guide. Safe travels, White Snow. Well, crap. I'm at least there.
Say your business, adventurer. So this is the one Whiskey sent me. I haven't focused what he sees in you, and until I do, you will receive no aid from me. I got mail. It's in your share of battles, there's no mistaking that. And you did manage to obtain an adamantoise egg. However, that was not more than a display of brute force and blind courage. The nun I was fought. Possibly that his strength would save him. He was wrong, and now I am none. Many years ago, I joined a company here to hone my skills instead of challenging my predecessor before I was ready. Even when I was young, I understood that victory goes to the patient, the cunning, and the pragmatic. That's why I claim my position, and it's why I still hold it, and it is why I will not help an unproven whelp. The children of the sands do not offer aid to strangers. To do so is a sign of weakness. However, if you were recognized as a skilled hunter in your own right, it would be permissible to assist you. Across the desert to the east lies an Amajal encampment. There dwells a warrior renowned for both his strength and guile. To even face his Amajal in battle, you must first find a way to lure him away from the encampment. This will be your test to draw out and defeat the veteran. For this, I will offer you no advice, only this worn spear. Why, you ask? You will have to solve that riddle yourself. Now go slay this old warrior and bring back me his necklace. I'll be right back. Mm-hmm.
Spirit belonged to one of his brothers. I knew when he spied it from afar, he would be unable to resist venturing outside the encampment to see for himself. Hello, Carbon. How you doing? Did you discern my intent, or was it dumb luck, I wonder? Either way, you've impressed me, adventurer. I shall tell you of the ingredient you seek. How you doing today, Carbon? Which I want. That's good. What you get so far? A shame we did not meet when I was still with the company of heroes. You would have made a fine recruit. But no point dwelling on what cannot be. You have a well-locked burden to hunt. Sandworms slither brazenly across the desert dunes, but well-worked worms are few and far in number. Rarity breeds demands, and so their meat is highly prized delicacy. The only way to catch your quarry is to entice it with something it cannot resist. Big worms prey on smaller creatures of the Segoli. A freshly slaughtered angler carcass would be my choice of bait. There is an area teeming with anglers to the east. I will mark it upon your map, along with the location where well-looked worms are most frequently sighted. Be warned, the blood will drive the worm into a feeding frenzy. If your skills are lacking, it will devour you as well. With this PC that you updated, you got all the parts for, will you be able to get a VR headset with it too? Why do you need 128 gigabytes of DDR5 though? And are you sure the Ryzen 5 7600 works with DDR5? $3050, barely. It's not really a gaming card. Ryzen 5 7600 is an older generation because you have the 9700X now. But you don't. 64 gigs should be plenty. Oh, excuse me. Okay, yeah, it does do DR5, but yeah, that's like a 2-generation old CPU. Because you had the 8000 series that was in between it, but that was mostly laptop. And now you got the 9000 series. But the 3050 will kind of struggle in VR because that's a very basic video card. See, with my 3070 Ti, I was getting, on average, 30 to 40 frames per second, maybe 25 in a full world. And the 3050 might be getting like 20 frames per second or less. True, and also with AM5 CPU, the CPU socket, AM6 is supposed to be pin compatible with the AM5 socket, so you can upgrade to that too on the same motherboard. I don't know why it's so important to have single core speed though. It does sound like a fairly good computer, though. I don't think RAM would be a bit too much. Because when I'm in VR chat, I have 64 gigs of RAM, and I've never seen it used more than like maybe 30 at the most. Generally around 25. Honestly, with the power supply being 550 watts, if you need to upgrade anything in the future, you'd have to also upgrade that power supply. Your skills as a hunter rival most those of our best. I applaud your success, White Snow. The meat will have to be heavily smoked before I ship it to Weescat. Oh, that's true. You definitely want a lot of RAM for modeling and stuff like that. Worry not, you have my word that he will receive it in time for the banquet. Yeah, that's one reason why I went to 64 gigs, because when I had 32, I tried to run Substance Painter with and having Chrome and stuff open, it would crash the computer, or not the computer, but it would crash Chrome. You must be eager to obtain the third ingredient. I regret to say that I know not of its location. For nonce, you should return to Costa del Sol and seek Whiskiat's counsel. But hold a moment, since you will be meeting the captain again soon, there is something I would like you to deliver him for me. Why is such low level? Also, is that 2 sticks of Are you doing 2 sticks of DDR5 or 4? The captain was always fond of the brand of wine. I would be grateful if you could deliver it on my behalf. I was a reckless, angry youth when I first joined the company, and he would have been well within his rights to cast me out. Everything I have, I owe to his wisdom and generosity. Whiskiat was a firm yet fair teacher, an expert molder of men, and I suspect that it is still the case now. Please give him my regards, White Snow. With the way the AMD memory controller works, it's actually better to have 2 sticks than 4. And yeah, you can buy 64 gigabyte DDR5 sticks, so you have 2 of them for 128. Yeah, it's an old motherboard. But yeah, you actually have the way it just how the memory controller works in the CPU is that you get better latency, and you're basically slightly faster with 2 sticks than you are with 4. Well met, Net White Snow. Landonell and Udo Nuns both spoke highly of you. What brings you here today? On my favorite, I shall have to thank the nun personally. Now you have but one ingredient left. Fortunately, you will not have to travel to Alenard this time to get it. How does less equate better specs? And then I get those right after that. Still. Truth be told, I never intended for you to collect this last ingredient. Brave Phlox, my old quartermaster, wished to bring it to Costa to sell herself. Not long ago, she sent word that there had been trouble at the long stop and that the delivery would be delayed indefinitely. She told me nothing of the incident herself, but I fear that the situation may be dire. Though I would like nothing more than to aid her myself, I have no choice but to turn you and your allies. Make haste to Hidden Falls docks and speak with Ozan Nazun. He will direct you to Raincatcher Gully, where Brave Phlox and her people will have made their home. Okay, where to go? Way over there. What's her adventure? Something happened over at Gabi Settlement? I don't know why you're so eager to help a bunch of beastmen, but go and talk to the skipper over yonder. She'll ferry to Raincatcher Gully. Tongue flaps of whiskey be reaching ears of Brave Phlox. Uplander is come for tasty fledged Gabi treats, yes? Quest prize the Uplander deep in long step. Flighty beasts chase Globby Flock from with homes. Gabi Flock needs goodly. Uplander gives safety to long stop with much hand lending. What?
How do I get over here? Ah. See, I don't know how to get up there. Okay, so how do I do that? And where is the gate? Huh. I have no idea. Those things are up there. Why am I hearing a dog?
Oh, okay.
When you go the other way. Can't go that way.
Would you faster do that way? Okay. Mm-hmm. Where is it? Over here. Sweet Graham Blood, i.e. reek of blood and adventure. Unless I'm mistaken, what brings you to Wineport? An order? Let me guess. A request for finest vintage I can muster. The paper smells of loam and perfume. Costa del Sol, and there is unmistakable order of Java cheese. Yet Mr. Gigaruju would not sell for anything less than its best. Driftwoods and his crew must be quite busy preparing an exotic feast, hence his decision to rely on an adventure. Perhaps you are confused. The display of deduction was not intended to press you. One loses his vision, he is forced to compensate in other ways, but you have no interest in my affairs. You only wish to discuss the wine, I suspect. Life can be so delightfully unpredictable. I always had a passion for wine, but it wasn't until I was forced to retire that I could pursue it as more than a mere hobby. It wouldn't have been possible if not for the savings I amassed during my time as a mercenary. Of course, say what you will about the nature of that work, none can deny that it pays well. But you go impatient, and Whiskey must have his wine. Herein lies the problem. Nothing possession is of sufficient quality for this occasion. Best vintages in our town are hoarded by Berglant, who owns and operates the largest vineyard in Vilbrand. Somehow I doubt he'll be receptive to your request, but given these circumstances, we must beg his assistance. What rank amateur bottle is wine? What rank amateur bottled this wine? Impurities have rendered it nigh undrinkable. Dismissal is too good for the man responsible. He should be made to drink every drop of this polluted swill. What is it? I am in the middle of an important destruction. I do not care for interruptions. That neophyte Vinter bid you speak of. You speak with me, ha? Neither you nor your friends have the palate to appreciate the subtle qualities of my private stock. I would sooner receive your gullible urine than sell you my worst vintage. Be gone from my sight. I take it he said no. Really, in those words?
Oh well, I cannot say I'm unsurprised. While there's no denying his passion and skill, the wine baron Limson Lamonsa is not meant for his tact. Very well, we shall take an alternative approach. There is a chance, however small, that another resident wine port can furnish us with suitable wine. In fact, had you come several years ago, I guarantee this would not be a problem. Unless the quality of our product has declined significantly in recent years, the only breeds cultivated these days are common Loman vines, which isn't to say that their grapes are poor quality, only that we have known better. Long ago, the Vigorons of Wineport crossbred several species and produced a grape-bearing vine of never-before-seen quality. Bacchus grapes were once the pride of this town, as they were used to produce vintages which surpassed all others. This includes the most aromatic, most complex, and most flavorful of all wines. The legendary Bacchus wines were born right here in Wineport. Pardon my enthusiasm. You see, once I had the privileges to sample that particular wine. It was an otherworldly experience. In that moment, I felt as though I had tasted the nectar of the gods themselves. I transcended my mortal flesh and was one with all creation. But as is too often said, the calamity changed that. The Bacchus vineyards were completely destroyed, along with much of the existing stock of Bacchus wine. What little remains is closely guarded by its owners, for it can no longer be made. If we cannot convince Birgerland to part with his wines, our next best option, as ridiculous as it sounds, is to find someone who has a bottle of Bacchus wine and to offer them every gill we can spare. I heard rumors that one of the Vigorons tending the vineyards might have one to own a bottle. Perhaps you could start speaking with them. What? Do I have Bacchus wine? I wish. I never had the chance to try it myself. Sorry, friend, but you're a few years too late. Bacchus wine, don't remind me. Used to have a cellar filled with this stuff. Thought I could keep the wine safe from thieves and elements. Never counted on a bloody primal blowing up my house. No luck, most regrettable we had to try. But Bacchus wine would have been perfect for the occasion. Though I must confess my certitude could it be due to my personal history with the beverage. It is, after all, the very reason I decided to become a vintner. After Titan blinded me in our battle beneath Gamoro, I fell into deep depression. It wasn't until I tasted Bacchus wine for the first time that I realized there is still so much I could experience even in my condition. It helped me find a new direction in life. It breaks my heart to think that wondrous ambrosia which once filled me with hope may be forever lost to us. I must say, this talk of Bacchus wine has made me rather nostalgic. Indeed, there is much I miss about my life with the company of heroes. After everything the captain has done for me, I could not bear to disappoint him. I have no fear. I swore that I shall find suitable wine for the banquet, though I made some time to think of a solution. In the meantime, there is a favor I would ask of you. 2 years ago, in the deepest depths of my despair, I stumbled across Vilbrand as a vagabond drunk. I suppose I was looking for a place to die, because I nearly found one not far from here. It was there that a man named Druss took me in and nursed me back to health. And it was he who gave me my first taste of Bacchus wine, which helped me to find my new calling. Though I am still a novice in the arts of winemaking, I would like him to know that I am pursuing my dream. This wine is my original creation. I would be most grateful if you delivered it to him to my stead. Just sometimes works at the Raincatcher Gully docks, so perhaps Richcliffe could tell you where to find him. Just? Oh, you mean the hermit? I tossed him a few gil when he needed an extra pair of hands. He doesn't talk about himself, and I'm sure as hell don't ask. When a man got a face with scars like that, you best leave well enough alone. I say, if you mind to find him, no, then head southwest to the Stivers String.
What do you want? Wine? I didn't ask for this. Who sent you? Can't sleep. They won't let me sleep. The midges, the buzzing, it keeps me awake. I never wanted to hurt anyone. Won't fight. I don't want to fight. Please make the buzzing stop. Make the midges go away. Not so loud anymore. Did you do that? Thank you. You helped me even after what my comrades and I did to your country. We were on a reconnaissance mission when the maelstrom caught us by surprise. We tried to escape, but the others, no one survived. Didn't ask for this. I'm not even Garlean, but they conquered my lands just like they tried to conquer your lands. I don't want to die in some blasted jungle halfway around the world. I just want to go home. What's she here? Who is currently streaming? I see a few minutes I might raid out to Corey Camp. It's here. I wish to thank Shamani for the wine.
That was overly kind. Would you be willing to bear a gift back to him? Earlier today at Red Mantis Falls, I collected the sap from nearby palm trees. If placed in the coconut shells and stored for a few bells times, it makes for a fine wine. See, it should be ready by now. I left 3 shells out there. Please take them to Shamani for me. I'm glad he's moved on with his life. I hope to one day do the same. Where? Because I don't know what I'm doing here. Or how do we even collect that? Ah, crap. Oh, deliver the palm wine. It's been some time, White Snow. What news do you have addressed? Ah, yes, I recall you had some knowledge of winemaking, a simplistic but nevertheless effective method that utilizes the natural properties of palm sap. I shall have to enjoy this batch before it spoils. We're not so different, Dress and I. 2 men who have long struggled to not let our scars define us. I worry that he has been alone with his thoughts far too long. It is past time I paid him a visit. Thank you for looking after him, White Snow. Alrighty. Now, I should be. I think I shall be reading at the Corgi Cam. Currently playing just games and demos, I guess.
So, have fun. And see you guys later.